Hello, everybody. My name is Pug, and it's the sixth take I do in this, and I'm losing my mind. And every time it just gets worse and worse because I keep remembering more and more. Before you make a mean comment about me, my mother, or my dog, or whatever, just know that I am not here to blame any team, ascribe judgment, assume responsibility from any team or player, or claim to be a victim. I am here to rant and complain about one thing, and you agree with me that the referees in the Premier League are absolute idiots and incompetent baboons. Okay? Let's clear out the air. According to the referees, Gabriel Magalhães' handball is not a handball because according to the rules of the game, and brother, if you've got to zoom in 8K frame by frame pixel hunt to get the justification, maybe it's not clear and obvious. Gabriel Magalhães played a legal play on the ball with his pinky toe, tapped it into Elanga, who was kicking the ball. But he was kicking the ball after Gabriel pokes the ball into his shin, which then ricochets and hits him in the arm, which, according to the rules, is not a handball. What? What? That's not a handball? I'm an Arsenal fan. I have so many Arsenal shirts over there. And that blows my brain because I saw that and I'm like, well, what a way to throw the game. Only for the referees to vindicate me. Because I am so confused. Because that, to me, clearly still looks like a handball. And if you go anywhere else in Europe, or you go to the Champions League, that's a handball right there. That's a handball. Maybe not a yellow card, but it is a handball and therefore a penalty. But apparently in the Premier League, referees make up the rules as they go along. And then the VAR is there with ChatGPT. My referee partner did this. What are the rules and how do I justify it? That's what it feels like. It feels like, oh frick, the prompt was wrong. I need 2 more minutes. I need to add more money into my ChatGPT subscription. That's probably why it took 7 minutes to get the thing done. For example, why was Nick Pope's challenge on Gyökeres not a penalty? Because any contact on the ball, no matter how small, by the goalkeeper implies that they were playing the ball. So, he's exempt of responsibility. Even though it took them so long for the VAR to overturn the decision that maybe it wasn't clear and obvious. So the VAR shouldn't have intervened. But not clear and obvious doesn't mean jack squat when you are just there to screw over a team or your buddy, or you've got a fantasy league going and frick, I have a Nick Pope as my goalkeeper. Therefore, I do not want him conceding a penalty and getting sent off. That would, be negative for my points. That's what it feels like sometimes. Because Robert Sanchez, earlier in the week, absolutely shattered Mbeumo's knee, but also got some contact on the ball. But it's okay. In that one, it's a red card. Because apparently the leg was too high. Even though he played the ball, he wasn't technically playing the ball. The nature of the challenge was... When 2 guys go for the ball and they're heading the ball and they collide in the air, but one of them gets the ball first and it bounces off the other guy's head, Is it a foul? Is it not a foul? How do you interpret that? Because apparently to the referees, it's a foul on the guy that got the ball ricocheted off his head. But according to the referees, that exempts the guy from responsibility in the contact. And that to me is the crux of the issue. And I am so sorry that I'm using Arsenal examples. I am an Arsenal fan, an Arsenal supporter, and therefore I watch a lot of Arsenal games. I try to watch as much football as I can, but I don't always have the time to watch every single game. But I'm sure that you have great examples of how the referees in the same match or in the same week made two completely opposed decisions that make no sense together. For example, when the referees included a yellow card for time wasting, and any sort of like nudging the ball away would be considered time wasting and was worthy of a yellow card, do we all remember when Declan Rice was just walking along, sees the ball, and like gently taps it to the side as he's walking along? The ball hasn't even stopped, okay? The ball's not stopped. And then the Brighton guy decides that he's going to do a great way of kicking a guy in the legs is by pretending you're going to do a fast free kick. But the ball never stopped moving. Technically, you're not allowed to kick it until it's stopped. And you just break the guy's legs, okay? Bam! Sachada. Technically, Declan Rice gets carded because of that little, which, you know, maybe in the context is not really time wasting, or maybe it is. But in that very same game, a guy grabs the ball, punts it into the stratosphere, okay, outside of the stadium. It's a home run. It's good. And that gets nothing. That gets nothing in the same game. And you see the players being like, that dude punted the ball, you know, great punt, great technique. But technically, you had blown the whistle, stopped the game, and that guy wasted the time. So are you not gonna card him? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Huh? That's the issue, okay? It's not, oh, my team is being victimized by the referees. They're trying to screw me over, particularly. They must hate me. No, because it's gonna happen to you. It's already happened. Last season, the season before that, this season. How many VAR mistakes until they put an independent reviewer on there to oversee the referees? How can VAR make mistakes? You have so many screens, so many viewing angles, slowed down, fast forward, zoomed in, cropped, sensors indicating the speed and rotation of the ball. How do you miss those things? How is VAR capable of making mistakes? And I guess we should have seen it coming when Crystal Palace faced Liverpool first, you know, in the Community Shield. When McAllister's handball was just never happened. Or when Mo Salah hands the ball against Crystal Palace, funnily enough, and then a goal gets scored. According to the referees, even if it's a deflection, if the handball directly or indirectly leads in that action or in the following action to a goal, the goal is disallowed because it's ruled as a handball, even if it normally wouldn't be. So is that rule no longer enforced? Do I get to Maradona punch the ball directly into your net if it bounced off your face? Nobody knows. And that's the problem, guys. And I'm just gonna end it there because I've been talking for probably an hour and I keep talking and like getting so frustrated and angry at the referees that I have to like center myself because I just end up going into a spiral of this guy's an idiot and that guy's an idiot and the guy overlooking them's an idiot and then the bald man also an idiot. We all know referees are bad and they make mistakes, but the fact that you've got a full team of guys double checking every decision rather than double checking that the decisions are correct, it feels like they're just covering for the referee decision. They're covering their mistakes. And then when they cover for the mistake, they've got to change the rules and the interpretation of the rules. Do you wonder why there was a period of time where Arsenal stopped scoring goals from corner kicks? It's because they were getting disallowed, because we were manhandling the goalkeepers and we were, grabbing their arms and we were getting in the way and bumping them, and that would be considered a foul. But then when another team did it, and rightfully so, everybody got angry at the referees for allowing that one. The referee said, no. Silly you idiots who are stupid, all of you, specifically you. That's always been the case. And starting now, it will always have been the case. And then, now you can bump the goalkeeper. Now you can get in the way. Now you can block him. We're scoring a lot more goals that way. Funnily enough, some idiot referee made a mistake. VAR upheld that mistake. And then the entire referee organization doubled, tripled down and changed the rules in favor of Arsenal. And I believe that that's wrong. Because you cannot change the rules halfway through a season. And if you change the rules, enforce them. Don't just sometimes enforce them always. And you have to explain your reasoning, okay? You can't just one day decide something's a yellow card and then the next day it's nothing and then the next day it's a red card. You are too smart, viewer. You are too smart. Because you see one angle and you 9 times out of 10 make the right choice. Referees see 30 different angles, slow motion, frame by frame, and they still make the wrong decision. And I think that's the crux of the issue. How can we, the common man, who are not referees, thankfully, with one viewing from the TV screen, can tell whether or not something's a foul or not, or a handball or a red card or whatever? How are we more accurate than referees with all their screens and double checks? Is because they're not there to be corrected by VAR. They're there to get covered by VAR. They're there to make excuses. The media is there to justify their mistakes because it's not their mistakes. You're just wrong. They're blaming the viewer. They're blaming the fans. They're blaming they're blaming the fans. They're blaming the ex-players. They're blaming former referees. They're saying you, a former referee and highly respected individual, are wrong because we're changing the rules now. They changed the rules to justify their previous actions. And I don't think that's fair for anybody. And, thank you for listening to me as I rant along. Let's see how long this video is. It's almost 15 minutes, and I've already done 6 or 5 more takes, plus an extra take that was just pure audio, where I got really angry. And, man, I hope that I'm not the only one that's so frustrated with the referees. And it doesn't matter what team you support. It really doesn't. Because they're screwing me, you, everybody. They're coming for Arsenal, they're coming for Liverpool, they're coming for City, they're coming for Chelsea, they're coming for Fulham, Aston Villa, Brighton, Forest, you name it. Because they're not good at their jobs. They're going to screw you over because they're idiots and incompetent buffoons. They're clowns. And they think they're the coolest dudes in the room because their buddies are covering for them. If those guys were working real jobs, their bosses would have them fired within the first 2 mistakes. And then you would hire more competent individuals. But still, how many times can one referee make X amount of mistakes? How many times do they have to apologize? We made the wrong choice. VAR, human error. We're so sorry you didn't qualify for Champions League. We're so sorry you didn't qualify for promotion. We're so sorry you didn't qualify and you got relegated. Ooh, sorry. Sorry we screwed you over and now you have to sell your entire player base. Oh, so sorry. Oh, you don't have Champions League anymore and people don't want to join your team and you have to sell your players. You missed out on how much money? Ooh, my bad. See, that's the issue. That's the issue right there. The best they can do is, ooh, my bad, sorry. Can't promise it won't happen again. That's what the referees act like. That's the most annoying part of it, is that they're self-righteous, self-justified, and self-covering. It's like doing an internal investigation, being like, oh, we found no wrongdoing. We're clean. It's a bunch of morons leading a bunch of idiots, you know? Thank you for watching. Appreciate every single one of you showed up. And as always, guys, have a great day.